Caught my girlfriend 23F admitting she had a past with my friend 22M from high school. We're all still friends, but now I can't shake this weird feeling. Should I bring it up or just move on? Hey Reddit. I 24M have been with my girlfriend, Sarah 23F, for about a year now. We met through some mutual friends, and it just felt right from the start. She's funny, smart, and honestly one of the most compassionate people I've ever known. We're close with each other's friends and even hang out in groups all the time. It's been nice because, for once, there's no my friends and her friends divide. One of my close friends from high school, Ryan 22M, is also part of this friend group. He's been my buddy since sophomore year, and we've been through a lot together. Ryan's like a brother to me. He's always been a bit of a flirt, the kind of guy who just radiates confidence without trying. But he's harmless, always respectful of boundaries, and never the type to cross any lines. So, I never felt any weird vibes about him and Sarah hanging out with us or anything. Now, here's where it gets interesting. A few nights ago, we were all having some drinks at my place, me, Sarah, Ryan, and a few other friends. It was one of those chill nights where everyone's just sharing funny stories, laughing, and honestly just enjoying the vibe. We're all a few drinks in, and somehow, the topic of exes and past relationships comes up. I wasn't thinking much about it because, hey, everyone's got a past, right? At some point, Sarah starts laughing and goes, "Oh, actually, Ryan and I used to, hang out in high school." I wasn't even processing it at first. But then, she kind of laughed it off, saying something like, "It was just a fling, nothing serious." Ryan's sitting there, laughing too, and just nodding like it was the most casual thing in the world. He didn't seem fazed at all, which I guess makes sense since it was years ago, but I couldn't help but feel a bit blindsided. Here's the thing, I didn't know about this fling at all. Sarah and I have been pretty open about our pasts, and while I wouldn't say we've gone over every detail, I'd assumed I knew the highlights. She's never mentioned that she and Ryan used to have a thing. And neither did he, which I guess also stings a bit. I'm sitting there, trying to keep my cool, but internally, I'm reeling. Why didn't either of them mention this? I know it's just high school, but still, it's weird to find out in such a casual way, right? Plus, they both seemed way too comfortable with it. I couldn't help but wonder if this is something they still occasionally joke about behind my back. The rest of the night, I was quieter than usual, which Sarah noticed. She kept asking me if I was okay, and I brushed it off, telling her I was just tired. But in reality, my mind was racing. I trust Sarah, I really do, and I don't want to be that insecure guy who gets jealous over the past. But now that I know this, it's like I can't stop picturing them together. And every time we're all hanging out, I keep picking up on little things that maybe aren't even there, like how they laugh at the same jokes or seem to have inside references that I never noticed before. I want to bring it up to Sarah, but I'm honestly not sure how without sounding petty or jealous. She's never given me a reason not to trust her, but now, it feels like there's this shadow hanging over things. And it's not like I think she'd go back to him or anything. I know she's with me because she wants to be. But the fact that it was kept quiet, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. Am I overreacting? Should I just let this go and try to move on? Or do I bring it up with her and risk sounding insecure? I feel like I'm caught in this weird place where I want to know more, but I also don't want to ruin what we have. If anyone's got advice or has been through something similar, I'd really appreciate your thoughts. Update. Hey everyone, thanks for all the advice. I read every comment, and it was honestly helpful to get some perspective. A lot of you suggested that I should talk to Sarah and be open about how I'm feeling, so that's what I decided to do. The next day, I sat down with her, and I brought it up as calmly as I could. I didn't want to accuse her of anything, I just told her that finding out about her past with Ryan the way I did made me feel a bit weird and blindsided. I explained that it wasn't about jealousy but more about transparency, since I would have appreciated knowing that history beforehand, especially with him still being in our friend group. Sarah was actually really understanding. She apologized for not mentioning it sooner and admitted that she hadn't thought it was a big deal since it was so long ago. She said she didn't want to bring up something irrelevant from high school that might cause unnecessary tension, especially since she's committed to me and had left any feelings for Ryan in the past. She even said she regretted saying it so casually the other night because she hadn't considered how it might come across to me. What really put me at ease was how honest she was about everything. She told me she had no lingering feelings for Ryan and that what they had back then was just a short, casual fling, nothing that ever meant much to either of them. She offered to talk about it more if I needed to, but I felt like we'd said enough. I also ended up talking to Ryan privately. I didn't go into too much detail, I just told him that finding out about him and Sarah caught me off guard. Ryan was actually super chill about it and apologized for not mentioning it sooner. He reassured me that he's got no feelings for Sarah and sees her as nothing more than a friend, especially since I'm with her now. He even made a joke about how he'd be crazy to mess with me like that, and we both laughed it off, which lightened things up a bit. In the end, I feel a lot better. I realized that a big part of this was just the surprise of it all and my own insecurities coming to the surface. Talking it out with both of them cleared the air and reminded me that trust is what matters most. Sarah and I are good, and I don't feel weird around Ryan anymore. Thanks again for the advice. Sometimes, you just need to hear that you're not overthinking things or being that guy for caring about your relationship. Communication really does make a difference. TLDR, found out my girlfriend had a past fling with my friend who's still in our circle. Talked to both of them about it, and we cleared the air. It was awkward at first, but now I feel a lot better.